Hi everyone, today we are going to make a Gujarati dish called Dudhi Muthia. It is actually a snack but it can be enjoyed as a whole meal as well. It is enjoyed not only by Gujaratis but anyone who tries this recipe enjoys it as well. Just to show you what are the ingredients that we'll be using today. I have used one medium-sized dudhi which has been peeled and then grated like this. The water from the dudhi has completely been squeezed out and you will see that I have kept it in a separate bowl. Instead of using water to knead the dough, we will be using this juice from the dudhi as well. I have one half of a lime. We have 2 medium spiced green chilies which have been finely chopped, 1 inch of ginger that has been finely chopped as well, and fresh coriander, a small bunch which has been finely chopped and kept aside as well. In terms of the flours that we will be needing today, we have 1.5 cup of either wheat or multigrain atta which has been kept aside. We have 1/4 cup of semolina or rava and 1/4 cup of chickpea flour or besan. In terms of the other ingredients that we need, we have 1 tablespoon of curd, we have half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, we have 3/4 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, we have 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, we have half a teaspoon of coriander powder or dhania powder, we have 1/4 teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder, we have 1/4 teaspoon of ajwain, we have half a teaspoon of sauf, we have salt as needed, we've got oil as required, and we also have baking soda. Towards the end of the recipe, you will see that we will also be doing something like a tadka for the ready dumplings which have been steamed. For that we need oil, we need a couple of leaves of curry patta or curry leaves, we have about 1 teaspoon of white sesame seeds, and we've got 1 tablespoon of rye. Method of making the muthia: take a large bowl and add the attas to it. So first I'm adding the wheat or the multigrain atta depending on what you are taking. I have taken multigrain atta. Apart from that, the besan and the rava. So I'm putting everything into the big bowl that I have. Now to the attas, I'm adding the grated dudhi and the grated ginger, the chopped green chilies and the green coriander. You have added all the chopped veggies to the bowl. You add the curd and the dry spices. But remember to keep the salt and the baking soda for last. Okay, so because the salt tends to make the dudhi release more water. So right now I'm putting the haldi in, I'm putting the dhania, I'm putting the jeera or the cumin powder, I'm putting the sauf seeds, the Kashmiri red chili powder. When you're putting ajwain, remember to just crush them between your fingers because that helps to release some of the flavor. Now go ahead and give all the ingredients a good mix. Make sure that all your ingredients are coming together properly. As I told you earlier, don't add the salt because the salt makes the dudhi release water early on itself. So that's something that we want to avoid because the dudhi already has its internal content of water. After mixing all the vegetables, you will notice this crumbly nature to the mixture that you have. At this point, you can add your salt in. You can give it a little bit of a mix. Salt can be according to your taste. I have added about 1.5 teaspoon of salt. You can adjust depending on how salty you like your food. Now, if you had noticed earlier, I had kept the baking soda aside. So at this point, you can add the baking soda in. You would have noticed that earlier on in the recipe, I didn't use the lime which I had kept aside, the half lime. So now that you've put the baking soda, just squeeze the lime over the baking soda. You will notice that it starts becoming fuzzy and it starts to effervescence. That's a good thing because that makes the muthias a little softer. So this is what you want. You want the fizzy, bubbly nature. Mix everything together. You will notice that it is still dry. Don't be afraid of this because we have kept the dudhi water aside which we will be using to knead the dough. But you will notice, see, when I have added the salt, you will notice that it has started to become a little wetter. So after mixing all the vegetables and the salt and the baking soda with the lime, you will notice that it has become a little wet, but it does require some amount of water to be added. So just a little bit, don't add too much water at a time, so just a little bit, and then give it another mix. After adding your doodhi water, this is what your dough tends to look like. It looks like a roti atta, but a little better in nature. This is needed because we actually require this for forming of the dumplings, which I will be showing you now. While you start kneading the dough, you can also put on a vessel, which is basically my steamer vessel, which I have a Vinod 3-tier steamer vessel. So I have put water and I have to bring this to a boil. Also, before I forgot the most important ingredient, it's a secret ingredient, which is love, which is something that I add to all the dishes that I make in my kitchen. Now, while the water is coming to a boil, we have to grease the steamer trays in which the dumplings will be put in. So you will see that I put a generous amount of oil, and then using a brush, now you will notice that the water has started to come to a big boil, like a large boil, where you see bubbles appearing. I've taken a little water on my palm to grease the same. You don't need to take oil necessarily. Water works very well. I've taken a portion of the dough that we had prepared. Now what you have to do is, between your hands, just roll the dough in such a way to form this cylinder shape. Make sure that it is even so that it cooks evenly as well. You can make this kind of a cylinder shape, which also tends to look like a kebab. Now my dumplings are all ready, the muthia. I'm going to spray a little bit of oil on each of the dumplings. Okay, this is just to make sure that they retain a little bit of moisture while they are steaming. Okay, once this is done, you take the tier of your steamer and add it to the utensil with the boiling water. Increase the flame to full, cover, and cook it for around 25 minutes. So this is what the dumplings look like once they have come out of the steamer. If you want, you can insert a knife into each of them, and if they come out clean, that means they are completely ready. Otherwise, in addition to the 25 minutes that you steamed them already, you can steam them for another 5 minutes. But in my case, it is completely ready now. So I'm going to rest them for about 5 minutes to cool down, and then we'll be cutting them up and doing the tadka. So now to do the tadka, I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of oil in a kadai. So now the oil has heated a little bit. What I have used is olive oil, but you can use any other regular cooking oil that you use. Now the mustard seeds or the rye. Since the oil is hot, you will notice that they start spluttering immediately. You can give it a little bit of a mix. Okay, now that the rye have spluttered, you can add the white sesame seeds or white til. You will notice that these will tend to become a little bit golden brown. You don't have to burn it. Make sure that you don't burn the tadka material. Okay, now that the sesame seeds and the rye have also started spluttering, you add your curry patta or your curry leaves. You'll notice a nice spluttering sound. That means that your tadka is coming together well. So now the muthia have cooled to quite an extent. You will notice that I've cut them into about 1/2 inch thick slices. The tadka that we had made is ready. So I'm now going to add these muthia pieces directly into the pan which has the tadka. If you want, you can also add 1 chopped green chili to your tadka. I don't prefer that much amount of spice in the final presentation of the dish. So depending on your taste palette, if you want, this is something that you can add after your curry pattas have been added to the tadka pan. So after 2 to 3 minutes of tossing the muthia pieces along with the tadka, you will notice that the pieces start becoming a little golden brown. That's when you can switch off the gas, and immediately you can serve these along with some tomato ketchup. I hope you enjoy making this recipe and sharing it with your loved ones and eating it yourself as much as I enjoyed sharing the recipe with you.